This is a piano tutorial on the first Noel, this time as a piano accompanist. So you don't need to play the melody. You play the chord in the right hand and root note of the chord down low on the left hand. And I'm going to try to keep the chord below my melody for the most part. So I'm going to play my first chord there with the first E, G, and C. That's A minor. That's right position there. So it's the first Noel. A minor is, C is E, G, C. A minor is A, C, E. Noel. There's a G chord, B, D, G, like that. L, B. That's a D minor, D, F, A. Root position there. B, H, that's a C chord, E, G, C. Angel, did, F, C, F, A. Did say, root position C chord there, C, E, G. Was, there's a G7 chord. B, D, F, G on the top. Was too certain, there's C chord there, C, E, G. Certain, poor, there's a D minor, D, F, A. Porsche, C chord, C, E, G. Shepherds, there's a F chord, C, F, A. In G7, D, G, D, F, G, B. In fields, there's your C chord, E, G, C. Fields where there's a G7 chord, B, D, F, G. There's a C chord, G, C, E. There's a G chord, G, B, D. In fields, E, G, C. Fields where there's your A minor chord, A, C, E. Where they, G chord, B, D, G. D minor, D, F, A. They keeping, there's a C chord, E, G, C. Keeping their C, F, A. Their sheep, root position C chord there. On a G, B, D, F, G. On a chord, there's a C chord, E, G. C chord, winters, D minor, D, F, A. There's night, C chord, night, F, G7, C, F, G7. Night that was, there's another C chord, E, G, C, was. So there's a G chord, B, D, G, D, C chord, G, C, E. No, there's a root chord on G there. No, L, C chord, E, G, C. No, no, A minor, A, C, E, O, L, B, E, G on the top. E minor chord there. No, there's the F chord, C, F, A. No, root position C chord, A minor. Born, A minor, E minor, root position there, E, G, B. Is the F chord, C chord, King of D, F, G, B, of C chord, 7, B, D, F, G, there's your C chord at the end. And then all you need to add after you get that down, and I realize that's quite a bit of moving there with the chords. This song is really probably more of an intermediate type song rather than maybe for a beginner, but it is in the key of C. So you need to add your root note down low. So it's always the root note the chord's named for. When you're playing a C chord, it's a C note. When you're playing A minor, it's that A note. When you're playing G, it's a G note, D minor, and so on. And this is what it sounds like when you're all through. The first Noel, the angels did say, was to search